People I feel like are going to hate me for saying this because it's kind of hypocritical. After Madden 19, I said this is it. This is the last Madden game I need to buy. They added in the ability to create custom draft classes. Plenty of people were making the new draft classes, and I was like, this is it. You know, the gameplay is not getting any better. This is one feature that I feel like is going to expand the franchise mode to kind of make it more worthwhile to keep playing going forward. So I didn't buy Madden 20 ever, not even, discounted here recently did I buy it. I completely passed over it. But then after I complained about the Madden 21 reveal and how the game was no good and it looked exactly the same, then they kind of sprung on us a game mode that I guess maybe wasn't announced earlier or I didn't hear about it because that would have definitely spiked my interest. So I heard about it like a week before release, and then I was one of the fools that went and pre-ordered Madden 21. And in the end, I actually wasn't all that disappointed. I would go as far to say as I was satisfied because I actually paid $27 for Madden 21. So I'm going to tell you how I did that. It's kind of a funny story. And also talk about the reason why I wanted to buy this game. And that's solely because of the Yard. Now, I'm a huge fan of the NFL Street Series. I go back and play those all the time. And the Yard is as close as we're probably realistically going to get to another NFL Street game. Now, of course, 2K is working on, a non-simulation football game. It'd be really cool if they were doing a street-style game, too. I'm kind of wary that it's an NFL Blitz-style game, and I'm not a huge fan of the Blitz gameplay. Even though you can argue that they're very similar, I disagree. I think Blitz is a little bit too fast. It's not as flashy in the pitch stuff. So I like the NFL Street style gameplay a lot more. And I'm hoping that's what 2K is making. But with that game, still out till next year, and I haven't seen anything really with it as far as development to even know if it's even going to make it out on time or what it's going to look like. I know a lot of people are, assuming it's going to be amazing because 2K is making it, though I would argue that that's not a gold standard of making sports games anymore either. I would argue that MLB The Show is the only good non-racing sports game that is currently out there. So I know a lot of people are disappointed about the demise of franchise mode. That's something that I kind of accepted, I think, years ago. If I want to play a good franchise football game, obviously I go back to an older title, and that's not all Pro Football 2K8. The franchise mode in that game is terrible. I don't know why people oftentimes bring that up in comparisons. I go back to something older, like NFL 2K5, which we have fairly recent rosters for. Even Madden 2005 without the updated rosters. I grew up playing Madden 2005 and I'm very nostalgic about that game. I know that 07 or 08 are technically better, but I really like 05. So the way I managed to pick up Madden 21 for $27 on pre-order at GameStop, on release day I got it for, more than 50% off, was basically just by a process of flipping some games. So GameStop offered a bonus trade-in value of like an additional 20% or something on things you traded in towards Madden 21. So of course I would happen to be browsing the Facebook Marketplace. I wasn't really seriously thinking about buying Madden 21. I thought, if it hits $20 or $30 by the end of the year, I'll pick it up. Again, simply because I wanted to play the Yard. And I came across someone on the Facebook Marketplace who for $20 was selling Red Dead Redemption 2, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Crackdown 3, and I think Injustice, the newer Injustice game that came out on the Xbox One. All games that I've either already played and own, or games I don't really have any interest in. So you could argue that those were very good games to give up to get Madden 21, but basically I paid that person $20 in the Walmart parking lot. I drove down the highway, I traded them in, and I paid GameStop an additional $5 or $6 plus tax. And in the end, I paid GameStop like $7.02, and I paid the kid in the Walmart parking lot $20. And that's how I bought Madden 21 for $27.02. So kind of a funny story about how I picked up the game for so cheap, and why I'm not one of the people that are supremely outraged because I spent, $65 after tax on the game. In fact, I spent like nearly $40 less than them, so I can't be too upset about it. And I do think that the Ultimate Team, as cool as I thought it was a few years ago, would be something I would enjoy if it didn't have to reset all the time. I hate the fact that it resets every year. It just kind of makes it seem like the grind never ends. So right now it's the beginning of the MUT season, and I kind of want to grind. If I was into playing it, I'd be wanting to build up my team. Of Of course, the players I'm going to be getting are going to be in like the low 80s overall. So, come end of this year, like December, there's going to be players out that are like 90 overall. So if I grind now to get the players that are like 80 overall so that I have somewhat of a competitive team to even go online and play, if I take, like a month off, all those players are going to be garbage when I come back, and then I'm not going to be able to play online, and then I'm going to have to go get back on the grind, try and get new cards, because I'm not going to buy card packs. I've never been one to, go after microtransactions or things of that nature, and pay extra money for games. I'm probably one of the frugalest gamers you can come across, so microtransactions aren't even something that I consider, and that's actually one of the reasons why the Yard is so interesting to me, where it almost seems like it has a Call of Duty class-like system to it, where you're picking kind of the prototype beforehand you want to play as. You can level up that prototype, or really is kind of like that class or that specific gun. As things flow along and as you play more with that class, then you can try out different classes, level up those. And at this point, I'm confusing the word class and prototype because it seems like they're so similar and interchangeable because you're leveling them up individually. So anyways, the long and the short of it is, in the Yard, it seems like if I grind now, I'm playing online for the most part in order to earn the XP, in order to level up the prototype. A much more, I guess, forgiving model. I feel like I could take a month off of playing the Yard and I could come back and I could be just as good as I am now. Because though they may increase some of the different levels within these prototypes and let you gain more experience into different categories, I don't see there being an overwhelming amount of power creep like there is every single year in Madden Ultimate Team, to the point where you can kind of set your watch to it that your cards that you get in September are going to be absolute garbage by December. So look, I know a lot of people are outraged over Madden 21. They don't want anybody to buy it. I'm sorry I went ahead and bought it. I didn't even think I was going to buy it. But I'll tell you, for $27, I'm not that upset about it. And I kind of wish the game would have just MSRP'd it, say $30. And of course, EA would never do that. But let's be honest, they're not making that much money off your $60 initial purchase price anyways. They're making most of their money off the whales, the people who are spending hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars in Madden Ultimate Team. I've sold my coins in-game before. I've literally played solo challenges, decided, I don't want to, invest in, actually going on the auction house and spending these coins. I've literally sold coins on Reddit. So there's definitely people willing to spend a ton of money to get different cards, and those are the ones that EA is really making a killing off of. So I would almost argue that if you're going to keep releasing such a bad game, drop the MSRP of it to $30 and people would be less upset at least. But thank you guys for watching. I'm Bailey, and I'll see you in the next video.